Hi Wolverines! I hope everyone is adjusting well to school this fall. I'm Blakely Meyer.
I'm Sanjay Reddy.
I'm Stratton Wilson, and this is the first episode of WNN with the all-new team.
Today we're going to be getting to know some of the new faculty members, figure out how people are watching TV when they're stuck at home, and see how students are spending their extra time on the job.
We're looking forward to getting to know you.
Enjoy!
First of all, what's your position at Walker, and what type of things could students come to you for?
So I am the assistant head of the upper school. And so it's kind of the dean of students kind of position. So student life issues, questions about how the clubs run, things that happen that you need an adult to talk over, or you want to try something new and you want some help figuring out who the best resource for that is. All of those things are sort of in my wheelhouse.
Your previous school, what subjects did you teach?
So I still teach Latin, and I taught Latin at my previous school. I also taught Greek and a little history.
Oh.
And because it's a boarding school, I also coach JV girls soccer, varsity track. I taught yoga for a while. Did a little bit of everything.
Okay, what drew you to want to come to Walker?
So I'm actually originally from here. So I grew up off of Bells Ferry Road for most of my life and went away to boarding school when I was 14. And so my parents are still here, my family's still here. So when I was sort of looking for if I were going to leave my previous school, which was a big ask, I was like, okay, so it would need to be in some place really fabulous and a really great position that was pretty exciting.
What are your hobbies, or what do you like to do in your free time?
I love to read. I listen to audiobooks. I'm pretty much always reading 2 or 3 things at the same time. But I like to run, and I love to bake and knit as well.
Okay, you mentioned you coached. Are those things you used to do in your past? Did you play those sports?
So I dropped out of the track team my freshman year, and I sort of have been running on the side. Running is my main sport. It's the only thing I've ever been kind of good at. I like soccer, but I'm not that coordinated. So I was an enthusiastic but not very useful player. I've been running in street races pretty much since high school.
Is there anything else you'd want people to know about you?
I'm a dog person. I have a dog, and she has her own Instagram. And I spoil her horribly. She is the world's most spoiled dog. I'm only saved by the fact that she's a Belgian Malinois, so she looks like a serious dog. So people are like, oh, it's a serious dog. I'm like, that's right, but I'm not going to tell you that I hold her like a baby and rub her belly and that she likes it. I'm not going to mention that at all, because that is 75 pounds of embarrassment right there. But
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Cable television seems to be a thing of the past with the rise of streaming, so how much longer before Xfinity unhooks its last box? I'm Stratton Wilson, and today we are going to be taking a look at just how many students are abandoning the old ways of media consumption. About 5 or 6 years ago, my family made the decision to get rid of cable in favor of Netflix and Prime Video. So now the world of live TV seems pretty foreign to me. I was interested to see how many other people had made the same decision or were headed in that direction. According to a survey conducted by the Walker News Network, over 85% of respondents claimed that they strictly use streaming services to get their television fix. The most popular option was by far Netflix, with only 2% of respondents claiming that they did not subscribe to the service. Even with many others, such as Hulu, Disney Plus, and Prime Video creating their own catalog of shows and movies, Netflix has still kept their flag in the ground.
So what makes you pick, say, Netflix over turning on your cable box?
I think the biggest reason is that Netflix is something that I can really just take anywhere, and it also just is something that I've been using for a really long time, so I can watch whatever shows that I would want to watch. And it just has the full season, so I can just watch either one show at a time without having to wait for the next episode, or I can switch between shows, one episode right after the other.
Most responses to what people are watching are actually featured by Netflix, such as Cobra Kai, Parks and Recreation, and Avatar: The Last Airbender. This structure is built around binge watching, which is how people consume titles such as Stranger Things or Community. About 80% of respondents said that they'd rather watch like this than weekly paced episode installments.
So, do you binge watch? And if so, how fast do you go through episodes?
I do, and I can go through like probably 5 episodes a day, probably more if I'm like not doing anything that day.
What's your go-to binge watch show?
Probably Friends or that 70s show, maybe The Office, classics.
What's surprising about this is that despite the fact that people are mostly streaming, only a quarter of respondents have canceled cable altogether. But maybe we'll see that number increase one day.
So, where do you work and how long have you been working there?
I work at Huey Louie's Mexican Kitchen, and I've been working for 4 months.
So I work at the Haagen-Dazs in Town Center Mall, and I started working there at the beginning of June.
I worked at McDonald's over the summer, and I worked there for 3 months.
And what made you want to work?
Because my mom made me get a job.
So I was supposed to have a few internships this summer that all got canceled because of COVID. And I just honestly needed something to fill my time with and kind of get me out of the house. So I was just looking for a bunch of jobs, and I used this online website to apply. And Haagen-Dazs was just the first one that accepted me, so I worked there.
I needed money.
What do you like most about working?
I like that I made new friends, and it's a different environment, but you're all kind of forced to do the same thing, and everybody just makes it really fun.
I get to eat a lot of ice cream, which sometimes makes my stomach hurt after a while. And there's a lot of really fun people at Town Center. There's this one lady who always comes by and gives the employees stuff that she bought. She gave us a glass, this big decorative cup one time, or a wallet. So that's kind of interesting.
I got money.
And what has been the hardest part about working?
Probably just scheduling out my summer, because things are kind of spur in the moment, but when you have a work schedule you kind of have to move around that.
There's a lot more kind of chores than I thought there would be. You have to do dishes and mop the floor and go to the back and carry really heavy boxes of ice cream. So it's definitely more hard work and not just talking to customers all the time.
Sometimes it gets really boring.
And what advice would you give to an underclassman who might want to work?
That they should, because you don't have to work that many hours and you're still making money, and it gives you something to do.
I would say not to be scared, because I was kind of worried as a shy person that I wouldn't be good at talking to customers, or that would be awkward or scary. But honestly, you kind of figure out what to do pretty fast. After 2 weeks, I felt pretty confident with it. And you get to meet a lot of fun people from outside of school. So I would definitely recommend it.
Make sure you save portions of your income.
Great insight and advice from students. Thanks for the report, Sanjay. That concludes the first WNN report of the year.
We hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe for updates.